sure that we are up here. Hey, Colin. Let's see. Checking all that out. Looks like we've got, I see my audio bar is jumping up. So, hey, Thomas, or anybody that's on, can someone verify that you see me and hear me? Morning, James. How are you, sir? Let's see. Looks like we are ready to go. All right. Hey, family. How's everyone doing? Give me just 1 second here. Let me actually make sure that we have everybody on. This technology is so convenient that sometimes it's inconvenient. There we go. Okay, so now it looks like people are coming in. So I wanted to make sure. Sometimes this YouTube live stream is pretty handy, but sometimes it throws a wrench in things, no doubt. So, okay, we're loud and clear. Thank you, Miss Becky. How are you, ma'am? Okay, here we go. Welcome, family. How is everyone doing? It's awesome to see some names in here, and you know, I guess what I want to do first is just take a really big sigh of relief. We are we're tired. We are wore plumb out. We're going 6 and 7 days a week, sometimes 12 and 14-hour days up here. Sometimes the office, people are running around corners and jogging through the office, or in fast-paced walks at least. We run into each other going around corners and coming in and out of some of the sections in our offices. So we've been swamped. We've got a lot of stuff going on. We've accomplished a lot. There's still a few last-minute things that we're buttoning up. Actually, it's one of the reasons for today's meeting, to kind of give you some really good updates. And let's see. Someone's putting, hey, Haley, I can't see that because of the tent. Hang on 1 second. Can't hear me. Okay. Haley in the office was just telling me that she can't hear me. See, Greg, I see you and hear you. I guess, see, loud and clear, I can see and hear you. Okay, so I guess it's just some people can't see or hear me. So, okay, so let's go ahead and get started here, ladies and gentlemen. Let me make sure technology is going to be our friend since we're a tech company here. I've darkened my PowerPoint a little bit so you can see my white screen here. So, if we're good. There we go. I think we're ready to go. Sorry for the late start here. For you late ones showing up, you're in luck here. I'm running a little late too. So here's our discussions that we're actually going to go over on our team meeting here. This is almost like a little family reunion. We've all been so swamped, and we communicate back and forth, but we don't really get together a whole lot as a whole group, just teams sectioned off. So with that, you probably noticed we paused this Monday meeting so we could have this morning's meeting here, and thank you so very much for that. But some of the things we're going to cover here are some more additions and revisions that are coming around to the mobile app. We're also going to cover real quickly the Chamber of Commerce participation and what it is the Chamber all has ready and fired off in a lot of our communities already. But also talk to you about our new company recruits that are onboarding. Some of you see some of those welcome messages on some of our social media feeds. By the way, if you haven't liked us on Facebook or following us on Twitter, make sure you do so. Every now and then we'll throw a new consultant that's onboarded on there, and every now and then we'll actually throw a new client that's came on board on there just to kind of welcome them in. So, and the last thing, I've got a little surprise gift for everyone. I think you'll be quite happy and excited on what it is we're going to grant each and every one of you. Not just those that are live on the meeting today. I'm talking about all sales consultants, even if you watch this later in a recording. So with that, let's go ahead and dig in. Let's go ahead and start with the additions and revisions to the mobile app, since that's obviously the one of the key big factors to us here lately, if you'll agree with me there. Little quick fact, the algorithms with Apple devices, please keep in mind, those are more stringent than the Android devices are, ladies and gentlemen. We are making some tweaks. You Apple users, you Android users are just as happy as can be, because the way an Android algorithm is, Android is not strict. In other words, if you have an Android phone and you're running by beacons, most of the time, as long as the timer is not going or not, stopping it, or you got to make sure the vendor, their promotion is active. That's a little checkbox in their Near Me portal. As long as all the stars line up and they're actually broadcasting out of their beacon, Androids get those awesome. They work great. Apple, we get a lot of feedback on Apple, and even though we say this in the training, I think some people are having a hard time understanding. Please understand that we are making some tweaks to Apple over the next week, 7 to 10 days. 10 to 12 days. You're going to see an improvement to the Apple platform. But ladies and gentlemen, Apple does I hate to say it, they do a great job with algorithms. If an Apple user goes by and sees notifications and doesn't do anything with them, or swipes them away in the trash, or rarely ever clicks them, whatever the reason may be, the Apple algorithm sometimes will stop the promotion from showing up on the lock screen. Will it do it always? Well, by far, no. Some of you complain that a lot of times you don't see your own beacon. And there's never one reason. Your promotion may not be live. You may be out of range. You may have broke your beacon. We've had 3 or 4 broke beacons come back in the last few days. People have dropped them, and that's fine. But there's different reasons why your beacon may not be hitting your phone. But one of the primary reasons we get out of people is everything is set correctly, and they complain because they're only getting hit every couple days, 3 days, 4 days, or what have you, if they have everything set up correctly. And it's broadcasting. So you must understand that in the state we're at right now, in fact, all companies around the world that have to deal with Apple, you can't change Apple programming. Literally, Apple's iOS system cannot be modified. No app can actually do that. So we have to play by some of Apple's algorithm rules there, okay? So always know Apples don't get hit every single day when the timer releases and you drive by, okay? It's just not going to do it. But for the economy of NETcinity and how much it is, and it hits most all Androids most all the time. Thank goodness, big blessing, have Android on there. But please understand that we're the only company that actually hits Apples. So if we're only getting them half the time or even a third of the time, worst case scenario, we're still the only company hitting Apple. So don't let that be a downfall. That's a huge positive here with proximity marketing and us being the leader in it. So please know that. But also, before I go off too far on much more of a tangent, we are making some tweaks to the Apple system. You Apple users, you'll probably see that bump up and improve just a little bit over this next week or two. So we did find a few little tweaks we could do. Android promotion images, they're not very clear right now. We know that for the people that upload their promotion, it's broadcasting out and popping the Android phones, and they open them up. We've noticed a couple of things with that, and please know we're fixing that. Actually, we got an update just this morning from our developers. We're on a Slack channel, kind of like Skype in a way, and we keep constant communication, obviously, with those that aren't in our office, of course, our outside developers as well. So there's some tweaks coming along, and we know that the images in Android lately, some of them look a little grainy. Sometimes you can't notice that one is not the best, but if it's got writing on that image inside the promotion when you open it on an Android, sometimes it's just not real clear. Sometimes it's the merchant's fault. Sometimes they actually upload a horrible, horrible picture they might have taken with their flip phone, and we can't do anything about that. But for the most part, they're doing a good job. It's our system that sometimes makes the images grainy, and we're onto that, and we're fixing it. They know the solution. They're getting that implemented, okay? Some of the images also don't appear in the Android. I don't know if some of you have noticed that have Android phones, but most promotions will work. You can actually take the image, when you open the promotion, and you can actually slide through those images and look at them. Some promotions aren't showing all the images. We're on top of that, and we actually have that fixed as well. You'll see that coming out in the next few days, okay? Here's my next one, and this is a little bit of a mystery. Some businesses, now we're talking about the bottom of the app now. When we talk about the Google free listings, I'm talking about, down here at the bottom of the app, people that are not our clients where it lists all the businesses there. Listen very carefully to me. That's not a Google search, okay? Even though you might search the business online and pull up their listing, it's called a Google Biz Place. What Google has done over the last few years, and Google's the leader of all search engines, no doubt, Google has taken every business they can, at least, unless it's brand new or they don't have any kind of web presence at all, nothing there. They've taken every business they can, and they have issued a Google Place ID number to it. So, you know, your address at a business might be 1234 Main Street. Well, Google BizPlace has converted that latitude, longitude, and issued it a dot on the map, and it's got an identification number to it. That's called a Google BizPlace ID, okay? That's what's listed in the bottom of our app, and we are on one of their premium packages there. So it lists, we get all the data we can possibly get in on that, okay? Mysteriously, though, some businesses are missing from those free listings that listed down at the bottom of the app. You will see this improve over the next few days, but guys and gals, it won't improve a lot. And here's why. There's some things that are out of our control. We're finding some businesses that have been in business for years, and for some reason, Google BizPlaces does not have an identification number on that particular business. You know, some of the things we are trying to tweak, we think, and we're still looking into this, we think that some categories, let's see if I can explain this correctly. So you'll have a restaurant, and then within restaurant and category, that restaurant might be donut shop, it might be Italian place, it might be your own bake and serve pizza place. It can be all types of different restaurants. Those are called categories. In our app, you'll notice we only have a handful of categories, of which one is food and drink, right? We have one category. Well, Google for restaurants might have 70. So we're thinking, we're doing our due diligence on this right now, we're thinking that whether it's a donut shop or pizza place or Italian place or maybe some of those odd categories, maybe they're not all mapping to food and drink. So we're looking into that. So we're pretty sure we'll be able to improve this slightly down on the bottom of the app. But please understand that I understand sometimes you can be sitting in a place and it's literally missing on the bottom. And we're trying to fix that as much as we can. Just know it's kind of like Apple phones. We can't reprogram a lot of Google stuff. If Google is flat out missing that as a business play, you can Google the business. That's different. You can pull it up online. Many of you have done that and you said, hey, look, it shows it right here on the map. That's true. But that doesn't mean Google has issued a latitude, longitude Google BizPlace to that. My theory in that is maybe one day in the future, Google will do away with addresses altogether. So the address to a business might be a 12-digit code number. It's a beautiful system that they have. It's a little bit new, so we have to kind of bear with that brand new technology. So that explains the free listings on the bottom. We're trying to improve those, okay? Please know that. Now, we are placing the YouTube, next announcement, we're placing the YouTube video ability back into the promotions. We're also adding the ability to have some more links in the promotions as we had before. You're going to see this in the coming days. I'm going to go back to the YouTube stuff. We debated about the YouTube just a little bit. Going back to the promotions, did you know, and I'm sure you'll believe this, many businesses out there just don't have a video of their business. I mean, think about all the mom and pop places you go into. The mom and pop dry cleaners and pizza place, donut shop, since we're on that, a tire shop down on the corner. Man, they... sometimes the business owner may not even have a smartphone, much less a recording of their business on YouTube to post on the promotion. So we found that a lot of businesses didn't use that, a very small amount of them. However, by popular request from our consultants, we're going to go ahead and add it back in. Please know that NETcinity is an extremely complex network of programming in the back. That's why it's taken so long. Like I said in my email to you, a lot of developers kind of looked and said, wow, that's complex. There's a lot of pieces of your system that have never been done before. So it's been tough for them to program, and that's all what our patent is about, and we're proud of that. But we're also in that extreme complex arena. We're trying to simplify this for the business owner. We're trying to make this for the business owner, whether they're 21 years old or 91 years old. We're trying to make that Near Me portal where they can make their beacon broadcast this high-definition signal out to pop these phones coming by, and mainly for retaining their current customers. We're finding that's the #1 reason for NETcinity and bonding the community together via the community app. It's been a beautiful system. We're trying to keep it simple. So by popular demand, we are going to go ahead and put the YouTube links back into the promotion. We haven't taken it out of the .me portal because it's been pretty undecided, but we are going to put that back in. Next thing we're going to do, actually, as you saw down here, we're going to go ahead and put additional links. Once again, for simplicity, we've tried to keep it simple, but we realize we do need to put those additional links. And if you're wondering what those additional links are, if you look in your promotion, log into your Near Me portal, look over on the right-hand side down towards the bottom where you make your promotion active just before you save it. If you'll look inside there, you'll notice that there's additional links. You can put one link in there, and you can add more and add more, up to 5 links down there. So we're actually going to put that back in. Since they can add more links and it still keeps it simple with one, we're going to go ahead and add that back in. We do find many vendors will want a link to their website, and their social media is back in their beacon places, but they also may want a link to their online ordering. A lot of businesses out there, please understand, there's a lot of high-tech point-of-sale systems out there. Everybody's seen those. A lot of the small businesses are going with Square and some of these merchants that give these really nice point-of-sale systems. And they issue QR codes, which we have in the app now. You notice that. We did add that back in. And they'll have additional links so people can order online. People can schedule an appointment if it's like a CPA or something, or they can reserve a table. These point-of-sale systems have all that. If something can be done in the point-of-sale system, 9 times out of 10, there's a website or URL address that it can be done with. And all they do is take that and put it into the app. So now the app becomes the ability to, wow, this food looks great. Let's reserve a table. And they can click the button. That's what those additional links are, to connect to any existing components the business has. And we feel like we probably need to put those back in. So you're going to see those popping up in the coming days. Okay? All right. Lastly, and very important, favoriting is now live in the app, okay? As well as favoriting on the analytics. You can now see, businesses can now see how many people have favorited along with their promotions getting hit and things like that. Now, I want to add to this, not all of you Apple users see the favoriting yet. A lot of us have it here, but please know that phase is through. Android users, we haven't really officially announced it hard and heavy yet, because Android users, bless their heart, they've had it for many days now. Don't want to tick off you Apple users, but Android has had favoriting, which means they can see all their chamber push notifications coming in. Platinum users, they go and do a demo. If you're an Android user, you can show it with the Platinum user saying, hey, here's that in. The Androids can actually see that. Apple users, if you don't quite see it on your Apple, I would think within the next day or two, the rest of the phones should be updated. So be sure to log into your Apple, go to your App Store, and keep checking your App Store for any updates to your current apps. And when yours is ready, you'll see it pop up in the back end of your phone, okay? Now, this is a huge announcement because now our Platinum users and our chambers are just full blast nailing it to the wall with people being able to favorite. So can I explain something real quick? The questions come up. We get a lot of questions in, and they say, hey, guys, what if a business has a couple of locations, or better yet, our most popular one is they put one in the delivery truck, a beacon, and they put another beacon at the front door of the business. So what happens when you favorite that business? You're actually favoriting their promotion there, right? So what happens if the business builds a new promotion, or they put a promotion on the delivery truck and they change one inside the store, and you have favorited the delivery truck and not favorited the inside of the store because you got the, let's say you're an end user, you got the delivery truck and you're like, oh, that's awesome because it was out driving around and you got that promo and you're like, man, that, Mexican food sounds good tonight. I'm going to favorite that. What you've done is you favorited the business. So let's be clear. Even if a Platinum business changes promotions multiple times, which they all do, or they've got promotions on, you favorited either the promotions from the restaurant's beacon or the delivery truck beacon outside that's running around town, you still favorited the business. Okay? Even though you favorited the promo from the delivery truck, anytime the business sends it out, anyone that's favorited any of their beacons in their account, okay, which is, any promotion, doesn't matter if you change it. Even if they change their promotion, the red heart still stays red, okay? It doesn't unfavorite. Platinum users send push notifications out to all of the people that have ever favorited any of their promotions from any of their beacons. So that keeps their database up and going. So I want to make sure we're very clear about that. Very exciting stuff. After getting some sales coming in, I want to make this announcement. I'm sure most of you actually see that. Those of you that are making sales at least, we get a lot of Platinum signups in. And we get a lot of annual subscriptions in. We are so thankful that we took the advice of some of our consultants saying, hey, I'm running into businesses that don't want to mess around with paying monthly. We want to pay annually. And we thought, wow, that's great and all. We don't offer any kind of contracts or anything. So as long as they see the system and they're confident in it and everything, then why not let them? and it's been a big blessing. It's helped on your commissions. A lot of businesses are going with annual. A lot of businesses are doing platinum. That push notification stuff was a huge turn on for them. They want to be able to talk to their customers, to send a broadcast alert out, once a month there, and they also want the beacon notification stuff going on. And once again, as the months move on for these consultants that have been with us for a while, we'll announce this here in a second, customer retention with NETcinity has been the biggest attraction. It's not picking up new customers. Those happen because other businesses in your town sign up, and they may not come in this business here, but they do go to other businesses, and because this business is on NETcinity, they magically get new customers in from that. But it's the customer retention for the beacons being able to speak and update with promotions on a daily, weekly basis whenever they want to. So anyway, got that. I've gone off on a rampage. Let's go ahead and move on to our next one. The Chamber of Commerce participation here. Oh, and the community events section within the app. Having your local chamber or city entity set up is a big help with your sales. It's huge. But I want to add, it's not imperative to your success. Let me explain. We have had a few chambers that we've ran into that don't want the service. And here's why. They have dumped money in another app, or they've already exceeded any kind of budget that they've got going on with, time-wise, updating their community events and things like that. They don't want competition with some other entity. It's not always an app. It's actually rarely an app. But, they've got some other marketing and stuff they do. And even though we don't charge chambers, it's the thought they don't want to have to go in and update promotions, even though they can update way through the year and put lots of promotions in and not mess with it for months or even a year or two if they don't have a lot going on there. So we still find that some chambers and every now and then a city entity will just say, we don't have time. As crazy as that sounds, that's just, they don't get it a lot of times because nothing's free in this world. Actually, a free sale is some of your hardest sales with the chambers. So funny as that may be, sometimes it is true. Doesn't happen very often, but sometimes it does happen, okay? Just know it helps, but it's not imperative to your sales. So let's see. I forgot where I put onboard discounts. Okay, so let me go ahead and include. I couldn't remember if I put another note down below this, but worst case scenario, if the chamber has told you absolutely no, and the city entity, sometimes that's the economic development, or we've been very successful with downtown associations. Those have been extremely popular. Any kind of entity, whether city or chamber or association there in town that's community-driven, nonprofit there, we will issue the portal to them. We'll issue it to multiples. Chamber, city, downtown. They can all log in with their own credentials to the same news events in your community. So you can have multiples, 3, 4, 5 entities on the same app. They have to be nonprofit community entities there, but they can all log in. Their stuff just stacks in the community events. So if the city gets on and says we're having a hot dog cook-off Saturday, it's up. If the chamber gets on and says, hey, we've got an event coming up this Saturday afternoon, it stacks. They don't share the same login. They're just updating the same app in your community. So that's how that works. But if the chamber tells you no, and the city tells you no, the downtown association tells you no, and you're stuck, we don't want your app to be empty. Get with your vice president and talk with them. We have ways to actually go into and create a login. We can't give it to you. The legalities of it, it has to go to the entity themselves. So we can't give you access. But we will do you a favor if the chamber told you no, and if the city told you no, and you get that with your VP and you're at a loose end, let's not let your app be empty. Just let us know. We will create a login on our end. Tell us where your VP, where a website is, where we can go and grab the events. Let us manually input those events for you really quick in your community so your app lights up at least. So all the people downloading can at least go through the events, okay? Then after you start getting your sales in and go back to the chamber, they say, I'm sorry. let us actually jump on that, and they can actually take that over once you've proven yourself to them. That part's pretty easy. Okay, use the chamber discounts whether the chamber is on board with you or not. That's another way to twist the chamber's arm. Again, we don't get very many chambers that say no. Very, very few. But if you haven't got on with the chamber yet and you're ready to start your sales, don't wait on the chamber. If you're waiting on an appointment for the chamber, or in some cases, the chamber is seasonal. Some of the northern places, through the wintertime, the chamber is just closed. That's just how it is. And that's fine. We'll get those entries in for you, but you can still use those chamber discounts, whether the chamber blesses it or not. My goodness gracious, they sure don't have a problem with that by you going in and saying, Mr. Business Owner, and let me give you a hint here, Mr. Business Owner, are you a chamber member? We have discounts for them. And if they say no, well, are you planning on being a chamber member? Now remember, don't give the discount out until they, are maybe thinking about it, or just use it as a closing technique, because remember, they get a discount on it. It actually discounts your commissions on month one, okay? Because the discount only goes to the first month or annual. If they pay annually, it just goes to that very first shopping cart when they check out. So that affects your commission. So only use the discounts if you have to, but also use them whether you have the chamber's blessing or not. The chamber sure appreciates and comes on board faster when you're running around town saying, gosh, I'm going to give you this discount, but can I trust you to jump on board with your chamber in the next, couple of weeks for me? And at least use that as a closing tool, especially if they say, come back tomorrow, let me think on this, or come back next week, or, let me think on this for a little while and come back. Then you can actually use those discounts in your favor, okay? So you don't have to have the chamber to be on board to be able to use the discounts. Now, if the chamber has told, I knew I put this in there. If the chamber or city have told you no officially, which is unlikely, then we have backup plans for the community events section, and I actually already covered that. And we can't give the access to consultants. It's just a legality there. It has to be the nonprofit entity of the chamber that has that. Remember that all push notifications from chambers or platinum subscribers must be approved before they are sent out. One of the most dangerous tools that we have besides the beacons blasting out is a disgruntled employee of a platinum user or a chamber goofing around thinking it's not real, whatever the case may be, and sending out a bad message to all the subscribers that are, favorited. Remember, a chamber doesn't send out to favorites. A chamber push notification goes out to everyone whose hometown is logged in as, whatever town you're in right now. When your chamber sends a push notification, everybody that has that community on their phone gets the push notification, okay? Platinums, those that favorite any promotion any time in the past, they can also unfavorite, to undo one. But anybody that's favorited any of their promotions in the past and are still favorites, that's where those push notifications go. So make sure we're clear about that. But we always have to send those through an approval process. Generally, it's minutes. We're here a lot of times 12 hours a day, and we even have employees, including myself, that check promotions through the night. So a push notification will not go out in the middle of the night. Kind of like a beacon approval won't go out in the middle of the night. But push notifications will go out during at least 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., sometimes maybe even just a little bit later, as long as it doesn't get too late there locally, and they must be pre-approved. That's a very dangerous tool, if you would agree with me, a disgruntled employee sending something out to customers. That would be bad. We'd be in trouble. All right. We're running a few days behind on setting up new chambers for accessing the community events section. So if you have just now sent your chamber to .com website, remember NETcinity.com, look at the very bottom down in the events down at the bottom, or links down the bottom, and you'll see Chamber of Commerce down there. They have to fill out an approval form. We haven't denied one yet, but it's coming. We just got to make sure that it is an actual nonprofit legal entity that's actually getting access, because again, that could be dangerous to give that out incorrectly. So that's why we're strict about that. Please know we're running a little bit behind on getting chambers right now. Not bad, but by the time your chamber puts in their form, expect it to be just a few days. It won't be instant, okay? 3 to 5 days before they get their credentials to log in, and then they get to control the app for free in NETcinity for your community. So, okay. All right, let's move on to our next exciting one. We're super excited about this. Just want to let you know about the rules here, though. As you know, NETcinity is nationwide. We want to be in every community, town, and city as humanly possible. You all want that. It grows the company as a whole, more downloads, more people running across the country with it from town to town. It helps all of us out. Now, we currently have 642 sales consultants worldwide. And I say worldwide. Have any of you noticed in Facebook our new consultants that are popping up in Okinawa, Japan over there? They're getting set up, and we've got some presence coming up in South Africa and some other places that are in Africa that are actually popping up. So we're super excited with that. That's one of the big things about being cloud-based. It's fairly easy to launch in other countries as well. So that's good stuff. But that's what we want to be. We want to be all over the place, and you want us to be as well. So starting on April 16th, The company will begin a national, we will begin a national campaign to search for new sales consultants in towns that we don't have any sales consultants assigned in yet, or if there's no sales in that town. Make sure I don't jump ahead here. We don't want to saturate your town with too many sales consultants, though. If you plan on starting NETcinity, let us know. Okay, let's go back up to the top one here. When you write your own PowerPoint, sometimes you jump ahead because your brain thinks ahead of what you actually type. So I have to check myself. We don't want to put sales consultants in, too many in one area. So here's how the marketing campaign actually works here. Starting on the 16th, a couple of Mondays from now, or less than, a week and a half from now, we're going to start a national campaign. We have 18.5 million leads purchased and in-house that we are going to begin marketing to. These are individuals that have done sales before. They are slathered between the U.S. and Canada, obviously. We are going to be marketing to them. Here's how the marketing machine works. If there are no sales in a town, the marketing machine will release the marketing in that town to go, okay? If there are sales in that town, then we can help the marketing machine to back off of that. Unless it's a huge city like, I'd say Houston, but I think Houston is getting close to being covered. We could probably stand a couple of more in a couple of regions of Houston, but we have a few Houstons on board. LA is definitely, there's a few there, but not down, one corner of it. So what we're going to do is if you're serious about going with NETcinity, please let us know. That's on our next part. Please send support an email saying, I'm getting kicked off. Please give me just a week or two to get going. And that way we can get the entry into the system to where the marketing machine won't go into that town. We're trying not to put too many sales consultants in a town. Okay? We'll kind of need your feedback and your help on that just a little bit. It's only a short pause. I have to admit to you, please respectful. This is business, okay? Please don't email us and say, hey, I'm gonna kill it in my town starting next week or the next. That's fine. We'll pause it, but it won't pause very long, okay? So one sale, one sale triggers the system for that zip code and surrounding around. One gold, platinum, or gold, silver, or platinum sale that comes in begins to pause the system. And then if you go out and start making more sales, it backs the system off completely because we don't want to be oversaturated in your particular town. So if you are going to get out and get going, you've got a couple of weeks to get out there. You don't have to just blow out of the gates. Just peck on a few and get just a few closed, and that will definitely protect your town, okay? It's almost impossible for us to stop a town down completely for someone that's not making sales. And please understand, we don't want to step on anyone's toes. We do not operate like that. However, we don't want to wait too long on a town to launch because you just haven't gotten around to it yet. So please understand, it is business. If another consultant does pop up in your town and you've waited for weeks, please know that's because the system, want to move forward nationwide, okay? But we won't be over aggressive with it. We just need your help on backing us up on that, okay? So that's our exciting stuff there. Here's some really quick FAQs, and we're going to go into some questions. I was going to try to keep this at 30 minutes here, but it's okay, or before the questions at least. Some quick FAQs. The beacon place. Does everyone know where you go to NETcinity and you log in to change your promotions? You got two places up there, okay? You got beacon places and your promotions. Beacon places is where you enter that address in right there. That's what we're going to talk about here, and that's where you put the main information, website, and social media, about your business, things that don't change on a promotion. For example, we set Beacon Place up, obviously, with the your address of where your beacon generally stays at, unless you're a food truck, you can go in and change it, pretty often. It stays there. Your website, your Facebook profile, your address, your phone number, things that don't change from time to time, we don't put that in the promotion section, so you don't have to type it back in again and again and again. That's why it's static in the Beacon Place. You can change it, but you don't have to set it up every time with a promotion because that type of information stays the same, okay? So we're talking about Beacon Places here. You must know this is where your Near Me pulls in the app, okay? Near Me is, and we're talking about Near Me. When you open up your app and you click near me up in the corner up there, or you search any of the categories, whether you search near me or not, if you click on any of the categories and open those up, that is a near me search, ladies and gentlemen. It's not looking for Bluetooth beacons. It's not looking for Bluetooth signals from beacons. It's not doing it. Remember, the beacon only goes out 260 feet, not 5 miles. So please understand, when a phone drives down the road, it's looking for beacons. Okay? When a beacon hits it, get a great push notification or a great pop on the screen there, and you can do what you need to, favorite it, whatever you need to do with that. That is a beacon notification driving up and down the road. When you open your app and you click on categories and near me, it's not looking for beacons, ladies and gentlemen. Listen carefully. It's looking for the address that is in your beacon place. And it must be selected from the drop down. So when you click on near me, it's a GPS search based on what's in the near me portal, okay? Not the Bluetooth signal from the beacon, okay? Now driving by, Bluetooth beacon nails it, okay? That's proximity marketing, but it only goes 260 feet, not 5 miles. The app goes 5 miles out searching for a place. So when you go to near me or click on categories and you click it, I'll make sure we're clear about this. This is why I'm repeating myself. It goes out 5 miles and it GPS searches businesses that are on the app, okay? And the free listings, of course, at the bottom that look bad for a reason. So they'll upgrade with you. Okay, log in to your .me portal. I want all of you to check this, and I want you to train your clients on this. This is uber important. Log into your .me portal. Everybody knows how to do that. If you don't, shame on you. Make sure you get in there. Click on Beacon Places. If you add a beacon place, fine, but you should be able to click on a previous beacon place. If you've never added a beacon place, something's wrong. Why haven't you added a beacon place? But all of you should see your beacon place sitting there. You just click on that. As soon as you click on it, everybody should be familiar with this screen. See when I start typing right here? See if we can actually pull this up. My mouse. You guys see my mouse, don't you? Yeah. See this right here? See as I start typing the address in, how it brings me suggestions? When you click on one of those suggestions, see how it auto-fills here and then pulls the map up? Do not pick from a drop-down menu in the address. Those are Google address listings there, not biz places, but they're Google address listings there. When you select one, it properly puts the format. See that 917 Main, Dallas, Texas, comma, USA? It has to have all that in there perfectly for your beacon place to light up and be able to be searchable from the app, okay? Some of you, we've noticed, you'll just put in your city and state, and sure, it pops the map up. Pops the map up down here at the bottom, but you didn't select a pre-done address at the top, okay? Now, on to the next question. For those of you that are worried about giving out your home address because you're a consultant, don't, okay? Don't give out your home address if you don't want to, because remember, it shows up with your promotion. Don't do that if you don't want to, ladies and gentlemen. Pick another address. Go around the corner to the 7-Eleven or the restaurant across the street from your house or just up the street. That's close enough. It's good enough. It'll still pull you up in a 5-mile radius somewhat to your house, but no one will have your home address. We completely understand that. Or give the address of the local post office. Remember, P.O. boxes won't work because they're not actual addresses, but the actual address to the post office if you want it to be the center of town. Understand? Okay, that's actually where that goes. So I want to make sure you understand when you click near me or you click on any of the categories, it can't search for beacons, ladies and gentlemen, because a Bluetooth signal is only 260 feet. That's only good for drive-bys. It's searching GPS around based off this address on your screen. Clear? Okay. All right, our next thing is use landscape images in your promotions for best results. Has some of you noticed that some of your clients put square images in? They just don't look as good. The Near Me portal tells them to run a picture. This is landscape, side to side, ones that are rectangular side to side. And apparently when it goes, or not apparently, but definitely when it goes in the promotion, it lines up from side to side on the screen. The picture does when it's landscape. Some people upload this or even square ones in. They just don't look as nice. So when you're taking your own, especially if you're going to build a quick promo, you're going to go in and see the pizza joint, go ahead and set yourself up a promo real quick. Turn your phone sideways, take a nice little picture of their sign or the front of their building, nice, and just upload that in there. And that way it fills side to side, okay? I know the Near Me portal tells them that, but the images just look better when they're landscaped. Sometimes a phone will register a beacon ID before the NETcinity app is actually downloaded. This could affect your demo that you're doing with the business owner right there. Let me explain. Let's say I don't have the app on my phone. You all know I do. Let's say I don't, though, and I'm a business owner. And you walk in the door with your beacon. Guess what? That beacon is popping that phone once every 100 milliseconds. The Apple or the Android is registering that beacon number. Nothing to do with it. They don't have the app yet. Actually, if they're on Android, they could probably pull down their nearby and stuff, that our competition runs on that doesn't work very well, but it's there. It's registering the beacon at least. Here's the deal. You do the demo. They download the app. You're waiting on the beacon to hit the phone, and a lot of times it does, but sometimes it doesn't. And why is that? It's because you walked in with the beacon in your pocket, which is what you're supposed to do there, unless you want to walk back out to the car and get the beacon later while they're downloading the app. That's a nice little trick. But the phone's already registered the beacon, so sometimes, especially Apples, will be stubborn with this. The Apple will go, remember, Apple algorithms are out of our control on some stuff there, okay? We can't change Apple's programming there. Steve Jobs would turn in his box if he knew if we changed any of that, okay? But it's already registered it. So that's why sometimes you're doing a demo with a business owner, and that's why sometimes it doesn't hit. And you have to explain that. You have to say, well, you've already picked up my beacon for the day, but if I was to come back tomorrow, and I will, if we don't do anything today, you'll actually be able to see what that looks like. Otherwise, let me show you what some of our promotions, what they actually look like. Pull down your history, from the top and show them what previous ones are. Or keep it in the car, well away from their business out there. Go in and do the demo and, talk with them and say, hey, download the app. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. Would you download the app for me? And then you run out and grab some brochures out of your car and throw the beacon in your pocket and walk back in. That's a lot more 9 times out of 10 on hit rate, okay? Again, most of the time it works fine, but that's why sometimes it fails. It's nothing to do with the beacon. Your beacon's working, or all of you should be. 99% of you are working when you send in support cases. Generally, it's something not correct in the back end on that. But the beacons are working, ladies and gentlemen. Just sometimes technology and algorithms out of our control, it doesn't pull, okay? All right. Don't ruin the ability for the consultants to build your own promos. I'm going to try to go through these faster, okay? We've had some consultants that have built some promos that were too daring. Don't give 5 free pizzas with 1 large pizza as a demo on a real business. You know why? Think about this. You know why? You build that. You do a demo with the owner, and the owner's like, oh, wow, ha, 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 I certainly wouldn't give that out. What happens? If anybody out in the restaurant has the NETcinity app, you've just given an illegal coupon out to all these people the owner didn't authorize at a real place. Be careful with those promos. You take off driving down the road and you don't change your promo for a few days, driving up down the street, it's like throwing candy out at the parade. You're getting rid of that promo digitally. Very dangerous. So be respectful, okay? Right now, we let you guys change your promos, but in the future, we might have to build preset, nice-looking promos for you to choose from that aren't quite as dangerous or get a lawsuit on our hands, okay? So please be careful with those. Android's physical web, or sometimes they call it Nearby or Android Near Me, it's a horrible sales technique. Do not ever focus on it. Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever wondered why our competition runs network marketing, multi-level marketing stuff, and how they get each other to buy beacons and things like that they're not really selling to clients? It's because that's all it's really good for, ladies and gentlemen. Android's physical web, meaning not having to have the app to get a beacon notification, it doesn't work on Apple. It doesn't hit the lock screen majority of the time. If it does hit the lock screen on some Samsungs, it's only going to hit it for a couple of times, and then the halt feature in Android will shut it down. It doesn't work, ladies and gentlemen. Physical web was closed last year. They stopped all development on physical web. That's why you saw Nearby and Near Me of Android start to pop up in some of the Samsungs. It doesn't work, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't. It's awesome for a digital business card. That's why some of those multi-level marketing beacon stuff, there have been a couple of them surface here that are trying to get going. And they have nothing to it. They just run a beacon on physical web, which anybody can buy a beacon off the internet and get that going. But it's good for a digital business card. I mean, and that's how they have to advertise it now. That's how they have to do it. So you can walk up and say, hey, check your nearby for my information. Who's going to do that at a business? It just doesn't work. Okay? So do not. We've lost a couple sales over this because a sales consultant should not have gone into the business and say they don't have to have the app to get the promotion. Well, maybe that's true, but without the app, they got to look for it. And without the app, there is no community connection. And without the app, there is certainly no customer retention involved, which is beginning to be NETcinity's #1 focus for our current clients, is retaining customers that they already have, not gathering new ones. They love it for retaining their current customers. They talk to them every day or every couple of days via the beacon. They pick up new ones because other people in town get it, and that's awesome. Okay? All right. Customer retention is primary. Here I go again. I'm jumping ahead. It's our most powerful feature with NETcinity, retaining their current customers. Okay? Last one, a quick little FAQ. I know you've heard us say this before. Our most successful sales consultants out there have door sticker parties around town. We call it an assault day. They just go out, and I encourage you to do the same thing, and they just go door to door. A lot of them aren't starting their sales unless they just run into the owner. They just walk in and say, hey, have you seen the new community app? Pretty sweet. Y'all are already on it. Can I stick a sticker on the door? Thanks. And most cashiers, most managers are like, yeah, sure, if we're already on it, and it's this community in which you prove it, you pull it up, check it out. Here's our downtown square, here's our popular bridge, things like that. And it's really easy to put a sticker on the door. Run into an owner, go ahead and go for it. Otherwise, now you planted your bait like a trot line, we call in the South. Now you can actually go back and check your hooks when you go back in and talk to the owners. Hey, your sticker's been on your door for a week or two now. I wanted to talk to you about it. Do you know you're already on this? And likely, remember, the business owner comes out of their own doors as well. So when they download NETcinity and go, I'm already on this thing, and go about their business, you, the salesman, pop up just a little bit later. Remember, put the bait out there, which is the door stickers. And here's a great idea. Hire a college kid for $50 to go out and get rid of 50 stickers on legitimate doors around town. It's easy to drive up and down the road and see those blue stickers as you're driving to check his or her work doing that for you. Just a little insight there, okay? All right, here's our quick announcement. Here's your gift. We are giving platinum to all of y'all. All of you, today and tomorrow, most of you have already seen it, I'm sure. You log into your Near Me portal, you're not as a gold subscriber, you are platinum. All you sales consultants can now, unless you've got an Apple that hasn't quite set up yet, you can now set up and send a push notification out just like a platinum business. Use it wisely, okay? Platinums only get one per month so they don't drive customers crazy. We don't want people uninstalling the NETcinity app, so that's why we limit the push notification going out, okay? But you're all platinum. Some pretty cool features in there. There's nothing. There's been so many platinum sales over gold, we thought we were wrong. Gold is beginning to not be our most popular package. It's platinum. So why not you sales consultants have the full-blown features of it? And congratulations. So you can go in there and play with that and send push notifications out. If you're on Apple and you can't see the favoriting, listen carefully. If you're on Apple and you open a promotion today and you can't see the red heart on the promotion, give it a little bit. It hasn't hit your app, your downloads in your store yet. Okay? Give it a little time. It comes out in those phases. I would think today or tomorrow, keep checking your app store. As soon as you see that, update the app. You'll see some new cool features with the Facebook login. Got a whole lot easier and a lot less complex. You'll notice that. You'll also notice the favoriting feature and some other stuff in there as one of the new upgrades. As soon as you can favorite it, have as many friends on your Facebook favorite you. Remember, have them download the NETcinity app on your social media and say, hey guys, do me a huge favor. Go in and search me. Remember, they don't have to have your beacon. They can do a near me search within 5 miles at least. Put your address in your beacon placed correctly. That's what it pulls from. Got that ready. Have them favorite you, and then go in and send a push notification to all your friends. It's pretty neat to play with. Use it wisely, though. Okay, it's 30 days. All right. Do we have Eric on? We do, Mr. Eric. Hey, Eric. I wish I could get your camera turned on for our live stream here because I'm going to put you on the spot. Ladies and gentlemen, Eric Fernandez is one of our winners of the $1,000 giveaway. Eric, this is going out in the mail. Obviously, this is a funny fake check that Chad actually pulled up for you, but Mr. Eric is one of our winners on getting 10 sales in the last couple of weeks of last month. We're going to be getting Eric to give us a little bio of himself and some fun stuff. And Eric is actually our April Spotlight Sales Consultant. We're also going to have some others that are in the mix there over these next coming days and weeks, actually, because there's a lot of fun stuff going on in the local community. Lots of cool stories. Eric's got, I know, some cool stories to share with you as well on his Spotlight email. That's an email, by the way, going out. We're going to get this sent out to Eric, so look for a picture of him holding this up, with that in his iPad, as he's one of the winners on that. So lots of fun there for Mr. Eric. All right. Okay, let's do this. Let me go in and check and see for questions. Mr. Thomas, good morning. Okay, hi. Mr. Garrett, hey sir, from the wonderful Cape Cod. Let's see. I can see and hear you. Hang on one second. Please cover how pro beacons interact with physical web. Yes, they sure do. Garrett's asking, cover how the pro beacon. We kind of went over this, but I'll just give a quick recap here. Our beacons do work with Nearby and Androids Near Me and with physical web. You have to know to look for it. That's why it's such a struggle for the other companies that haven't came up with the patented platform that we have. Huge blessing for us once again, but that's why they're struggling to get that done. That's why they have to sell that as an MLM or network marketing, because it's all the only way they can really get rid of tons of beacons, because the businesses, it's hard for a business to get up on a dinner table and say, hey, everybody, can you please open your Android phones? Oh, there's half the room has Apple. I can't talk to you guys. You Android phones, please open your phone and pull down and look for Nearby. There's our business card. It just doesn't work very well. So, and there's certainly no app for no community involvement, no customer retention rules at all, nothing. So it does work, but it is just what it is. Actually, what we have our Nearby set up for you Android users, if you want to drag it down and look, all it does is say there's a promotion near you. One of your NETcinity clients is trying to send you a great promotion right now. If they don't have the app, they get that. If they pull it down and look, you have to look for it in an Android, though. It doesn't work very well. It's not us. It's just the way Android rolls and Nearby and stuff, okay? And it promotes them to download the community app. Then, of course, they get popped. And then they've got it from there on out, okay? Good question, Garrett. Let's see. iHeartRadio doing push notifications. Excellent. Let's see here. Sorry, guys. This is kind of hard to read here. There we go. It jumps around. Let's see. If you have nonprofits that are looking to list events, are they eligible to upload events for free? Rebecca, hey, Miss Rebecca. Yes, they are. Rebecca's question is what if you have some other nonprofits that just want to list some apps, stuff in the free? Yes, Rebecca, have them still go down to the Chamber of Commerce. Hey, here's a good announcement. This question hasn't came up. I'm not sure why, but I guess everybody just kind of knows. If you have a city entity or a downtown alliance or like Rebecca's talking about, some other nonprofit there or chamber, any of those, they all go to the Chamber of Commerce link on the bottom of the website and fill that form out, okay? And Rebecca, we'll get them a login. If they're not interested in a login, maybe we can work with you just a little bit and maybe upload those events in. But we'd rather them have a login as well. It's it puts the compliance, it puts the responsibility on them. You can imagine poor Brent back in marketing just driven crazy trying to get the right stuff in the right place. It's actually a little confusing on our end. You guys know your community, you know your app. Please keep in mind, we have thousands and thousands and thousands of communities. So we're a little scared that we might pick the wrong community and upload the wrong events. We try really hard and we try to get all the information, but if someone sends a thing over saying, hey, St. Marie, here's my stuff, don't forget St. Marie, and we're like, oh, it must be St. Marie, North Carolina. It wasn't, because human factor came in. So it's better they have a login, but we'll do it if we have to upload it manually, okay? Let's see. Chambers get up and running. Can we get a training on what they see and how they input? Yeah, you can. In fact, I don't want to mess up this YouTube stream. I could probably pull up the Sulphur Springs chamber on here. I know I can, and actually do that. Yes, Jay, that is an awesome recommendation. I'll have Chad on the Monday morning meeting actually show where that's at. It's very simple. They log in. The Near Me portal looks very similar there, but all it says is push notifications, and then right next to it, it says community events and news. And that's all it is. They literally go in there. There's a little calendar. They pick the calendar, the date, and they probably copy and paste from their website or where they have, and they paste it in the block and save it. And then, boink, it pops on the app. I'm not talking about push notification. I'm talking about within the community events block on the homepage of the app. As soon as they add them, I mean, they're stacking on the app there. It's live in time. Okay? And of course, push notifications work just like all your platinum portals work now. You know, push notification, send push, and then you type in your message up to 160 characters and click send. Doesn't send, it goes into approval state, which Haley and the girls stay on top of those pretty fast. Okay? Let's see. Can we develop some promotional materials that highlight the success stories of satisfied customer? Yes. Besides, yeah, you're right. Our reviews are kind of mixed together with consultants and stuff. Dan, that's a good idea. Let's go ahead and let's do that. I'll write that down. Dan's asking, can we get some promotional materials that highlight success stories of some of the clients? That's a good idea. We've been swamped, so give me just a little bit, Dan. I'll put that on my list, but I will get that done, sir. That's a great suggestion. Thomas, why do the promos come and go so much? They don't. They stay on the beacon full time. You know, anywhere from 12 to 24 hours is the timer on those. A lot of them are just 12 hours. But they don't come and go, Thomas. It's probably because your phone comes and goes on actually receiving those is what that actually is. So let's see. Oh, you know what, Thomas? I wonder if you're talking about the promos in the actual app. I don't see my promo, but it was there on Sunday. Thomas, go check your address. Remember me saying on the when you pull up a Near Me on there, it goes off of your actual address, and you must have picked a address from the drop-down menu at Beacon Place because that is an official address. If you'll click on that, save it. Obviously, you know, make sure your promotion is active, Thomas. You got that little check box down at the bottom of promotions, little check box that says active, and save it. And then make sure it's approved, you know, because it goes through approval up here. But usually within minutes, as long as it's done during the day, it's up and live. And then go back and check your app. You'll notice that it's there. That's been pretty dependable on that. Let's see. Any independent testing done about beacon range? No. No, and it's the beacons have been pretty dependable. We've done a ton of testing. We've looked pretty goofy in our back pasture back there, running around with the beacons and having people, you know, going back and forth and testing it through buildings. Remember that in our training, Bluetooth signal is very absorbent. So you can take a Bluetooth beacon and throw it in the middle of a mattress store on the floor, and it'll go about 15 feet. It's horrible. It's horrible. But as soon as you pick it up and get it away from those soft mattresses and away from the human bodies, like in a mix of people down below, then it begins to light up. Especially when you do the 6 to 10 feet suggestion that we do for the front door of the business, and then 270 feet is pretty solid. We have seen a couple of beacons that were mounted very close to electrical transformers, and for some reason it messed with them. We've seen some beacons before that were mounted on the inside glass of a business, and the inside glass had like a UV coating, like an older, like not lead glass, but it was an older UV coating glass. And it really hindered the beacon. Even though we told them to stick it outside up high, they still stuck it inside. As soon as they put it outside, it woke up to the street. There was something in that UV block of that glass that was messing with it. Didn't hinder it all the way down, but it wasn't, gung-ho full power like it should have been, at least outside the glass. It was inside the building. But so, yes. So, good question. Let's see. Thomas says, right now, it says no promos found. Thomas, make sure that you've got your address correct. And what category did you pick for your business place? Did you put it under services? Go click on services and you will find it there if everything is done. And make sure your promo is active as well. Okay? Let's see. Oh, there you are. Sorry, you got it, Sean. I'll try that. Sorry, Thomas. Let's see. Have push notifications been changed from 24 to 12? not push notification, the beacon messages, the beacon broadcast, proximity marketing broadcast messages. That's probably what you're referring to. Yes, it is now 12 hours on most phones. Okay? That's where that is. Push notifications are once a month, but I think you meant Bluetooth notifications. Yes, every 12 hours it resets. Let's see. Hey, there's Bruce. How are you, sir? Let's see. I do not understand the free platinum. Are we using demo beacon for that? Yes, Bruce, you have a beacon, or you should have a beacon. You've been with us for a long time. You should have a beacon there. Just log into your .me portal. That's what we call it. It's near me there, but log into, go to NETcinity. Make sure you log into Edit Promotion down there in the bottom right-hand corner. Get logged in. Make sure your business place is set up like we showed you. Go in there and build a promo, but your account is a platinum user, just as if you paid the full $129 a month for it. It's a full platinum account. You're allowed a push notification on there. Don't use it until you kind of get set up and have maybe even a couple of friends actually in there, but it's fun to play with. You know what else the push notification is going to be fun with for you guys? I hate to say fun, but we've had a ball with push notifications around the office. We goof off with each other a little bit with them, internally with them. But you know what it'd be really good for? When you, listen carefully, when you sell a client, ladies and gentlemen, have them favorite your own personal promotion. Why? Because once a month, you could send out news announcements to your business clients who have favorited your promotions. You built your own list up of your clients. Have your clients favorite your promotion before you leave with the sale, whether they did or didn't, and then once a month you can send them news updates. You know, things that we've got going on in the company, tips and tricks, you know, to building a great looking promotion. Whatever it may be. Close that huge sale. Let's say Bob's Pizza has 12 locations in your town. Use it to your advantage. Tell Bob's Pizza you're trying to close that big sale. Hey, Bob, you know, I've done a lot of sales in this town, and I know you're thinking about putting all 12 of your locations here in town on the system. Let me do something for you. If you'll sign up, Bob, and you'll put all 12 of your locations on today on an annual subscription especially, or a sign up to them, use this closing technique, Bob, I'll use my push notification to tell all the businesses on town that you're now on the app, because you as a consultant are platinum. So use this to your advantage, ladies and gentlemen. It's fun. It's fun to mess around with. Okay, let's see. So Bruce, hopefully that answers your question. You get free access to platinum because you're a sales consultant. Okay? Let's see. Many businesses have asked us, their users, to have a way to review them in the app. Could we implement that? Hey, Eli, good question. Many businesses have asked for their users, to review them in the app. That would be a link. Okay. You know, I wonder, a review. You know, Eli, reviews get a little tricky sometimes. You know what might be best? You know what might be best on that? Because reviews are different for each industry. You know, restaurants have Open Table and Yelps and hotels.me or whatever that review site is for them. You know, Eli, what would be even better than that is, you know, in the promotion down in the bottom right-hand corner where they can make their own links up in the bottom right-hand corner, you know, anything they want, you could put review us on Yelp or review us online. Underneath that, put your connection to your Yelp. That way it would all coincide together, and those reviews would go with all the massive, you know, public reviews all in one big, huge place. So you didn't accidentally have only 15 or 20 reviews about your business on your promotion in your app, but it was all together with all the public stuff, you know, on your Yelp or your Open Table or your hotel's, you know, review site that's out there. So that'd be even better. I'll think about that, Eli. I'll think that through on having a review in the promotion, but I think I'd rather have it be public wide, whether they came from the app or not. They see tons of reviews, not just the one on the app. It's a good one though. That's a good one. Thank you for that. Wow, we've been on an hour now, ladies and gentlemen, just a little bit over. Let's go ahead and hop off of here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. We are so blessed to have each and every one of you on board. Remember that before we do this launch here internally for a week and a half, we want to be in every town and community going. If you're going to move forward with us, which you are, you're here, just let us know so that we can pause your town at least for a couple of weeks before that system starts up. And we'll go back in and, help you out the most we can on that. But we're ready to get going. We're excited. Again, there's those new revisions and little updates coming along, but most businesses on most of them don't even see those things. They don't even see them. So by the time you get out there and get going, majority of the people aren't even going to see a lot of those little issues that you'll see fixed over these next few days as we button things up. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Thanks very much. God bless and have an awesome week. And this was a great family reunion. Let's do this more often. Thanks, everybody. Bye for now. Give me a second. Now let me figure out how to turn this off. There we go. Thanks, everybody. God bless.